Hey YouTube, it's been a while, hasn't it? It's been since 2011, I want to say, since I made one of these vlog things. So it's about time for another one, I think. Most of the issue why it's been so long is that I couldn't think of anything else worthy of talking about. But just dawned on me today, I have the perfect topic to talk about. Or more precisely, rant about. Because this is one of my biggest pet peeves. Right here. Cell phones. Not just cell phones in and of themselves so much. They do a lot of good. I have nothing against them being used as a communication tool, like in a normal sense. I'm not even against just regular texting. I have a keyboard phone. I don't have a smartphone, but I don't want a smartphone, so that's beside the point. My problem is that it seems there is like this epidemic of people who seem to think it is socially acceptable to go hang out with friends or relatives, but the entire fucking time they'll be on their phone. I cannot tell you how much this pisses me off, and I can't possibly be the only person on the planet who feels that way. Please tell me somebody else hears me here. 'Cause, alright, if you want to sit there and text, that's fine, but there's a time and place for everything. If you made plans to go hang out with somebody that you supposedly want to see so damn bad that you're gonna go hang out with them, how about you pay them the time of day and actually talk to them and spend time with them instead of spending the whole time here on your phone without an open text the whole fucking time. I swear to God. It's like these people can't go more than 5 minutes without checking their damn phone. If they're not texting, they're surfing the web on their smartphone, or they're doing, I don't even know what, Facebook, Tumblr, you name it, but they're doing it. Basically anything as a distraction. They'll be half listening to you while you try and talk to them, which is just fucking rude. Honestly, I don't get it. I don't get it. The irony here is that almost everyone I know has given me shit over the years for being supposedly internet obsessed or addicted and never off the computer. And while I'll admit that I'm on it a lot, it seems most people are so hyper connected at this point. They have gotten a million times worse than I've ever been, and it's like the social norm now. Nobody even questions it for the most part, and I feel like something bad has happened here. People are losing the art of communication in person because they can't just sit there and be happy in each other's company anymore. They have to be connected to either the internet or other people's cell phones with texting, you name it, but pretty much 99% of the time I can guarantee almost anyone you'll go hang out with, they will do this. And I thought maybe I just had really rude friends or something. I think I have maybe one that doesn't do this. But then it started creeping into even my own family. My cousins and my uncle would come over, and they don't even do it every 5 minutes. They're just constant. Every goddamn second. They'll maybe give you about 30 seconds, and boom, out comes the phone. Non-stop. It's like, if you hate my company so much, why don't you just go? Because this is a waste of time. If you're not even going to really give your attention, you really don't care, you obviously don't even seemingly want to be here, what the hell is the point? Why don't you go hang out with whoever you're talking to on there? I realize, yes, this doesn't account for internet friends that you physically can't hang out with, but everyday people, I don't get it. I really don't. And like I said, it's not that I don't text, because I do, but I have the consideration to take into account time and a place for everything. If I am with somebody and I get a text, you know what? I will wait until whoever I'm hanging out with goes off to go to the bathroom or something, where it is not a disruption. And it doesn't leave anybody feeling like they're being ignored. you know, whoever it was that texted you, they can wait unless, like, somebody's house is burning down. I highly doubt that there is many emergencies where you have to have a goddamn immediate response. I mean, most people are not, like, famous business people to the point where they need to be hyper-connected every 2 damn seconds to their phone. If you are, alright, you're off the hook. But most people aren't. And it just, there's no excuse for it. And it's insulting. It's insulting to the person you're with. It's insulting to the people you're talking to on the other end because they aren't even getting full attention because you're also hanging out with this person. So you're trying to divvy up the time and failing on both accounts. You're even insulting yourself because you're stooping to this level. And once again, I don't get it. It's common courtesy, and people just don't give a shit anymore because it's become so common. And it seems like the more hyper-connected that the internet becomes in every damn device, I mean, they even make refrigerators and microwaves with the internet in them now, so I mean, it's literally everywhere. There is no such thing as going off the grid at this point, practically, unless you go to like a third world country, essentially. Or if you really work at making sure you disconnect, but most people refuse to do that these days at all for even like a couple hours. But that said, it just seems like it's getting worse and worse and worse, and if we're already at this point, think of 10 years ago and trying to feasibly conceive today's technology back then. A lot of you would have thought somebody suggesting this was like on crack or something. Now it's the norm. If this is where we're at right now, imagine in another 10 years. Imagine another 20 years. Are people even going to bother sitting in the same room as each other anymore? I mean, oh, this is the one that gets me the most. 2 people out on a date, right? They're both sitting there on their phones. Whole time. Never saying a word to each other. I'm not sure if they're texting each other. That's even sadder if they are. I mean, that's just, why would you even bother at that point? But, I mean, if you're on a date, you know what? Turn the fucking phone off. You're on a date. Concentrate on the person you're with. Otherwise, don't go on it. Problem solved. Leave the phone at home. If you can't leave it at home, turn it off. Or mute it. And vow to just leave it alone for an hour or 2. If you just check it once or twice, okay, no big deal. But when you're doing it every few minutes, that is insulting. And there's no excuse for that. And it seems like the more and more technology that comes out that integrates this, the worse it gets. Personally, I am fucking terrified of those Google Glass things that are coming out, or Google Glasses, whatever they are. The ones where it's got the little camera thing that goes over one eye, and you can web browse and control it just with your eye movements. So the way I see this is, you can be face to face with somebody, sure, but you have, or they have no idea if you're even paying any damn attention to them, because you could be sitting there just dun, 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 just going through page after page after page, zoning out, not listening to a word they're saying. And again, that's really rude, and I hope that I'm wrong and that's not what ends up happening with it, but I don't see how that wouldn't become a normal thing with it. And if that becomes a normal thing, where do you go from there? How much worse does it get after that? I mean, I'm not anti-technology by any means. I just, once again, there is a time and a place for everything, and it seems like everybody's gone so overboard that nobody even remembers what it's like to be considerate of somebody's feelings. I mean, if both people are doing it, and it doesn't bother either one of you, I suppose that's one thing, but there's a lot of people that I've personally talked to who are also insulted by this sort of behavior, but they don't feel it's their place to say anything about it. And, I mean, I'm ballsy. I'll just say whatever the hell I damn well feel. That's how I've always been. So, I have no problem with that, but I can see where a lot of people would, and they'll just put up with it, and the other person has no idea that it bothers them, so they keep doing it. It's a never-ending cycle. You see what I mean? It's all bad, and it seems like if people could just take the time, just pull back a little bit, disconnect a little, not even 100%, just tone it down, cut it back some. It would be an improvement, a huge improvement, if everybody could do it just a little even. But I don't see it happening, sadly. It seems like it's just gonna get worse and worse from here.